Welcome to our kitchen.
Today we're going to be making Mille-Feuille.
We wanted to make this recipe because one, we like sweets.
And we wanted to challenge, and it's a really difficult dessert to make. And Sam isn't here today because
she's most likely dead by the demon dog that's barking in the background.
Probably, we'll find out. Alright,
let's get cooking! To make the pastry dough, you're gonna need 5 cups of flour, or 5 tasses de farine, and roughly 1 cup of water, or une tasse d'eau. You'll need to slowly mix your water into the flour, and knead, or piétiner, until you have everything that is well combined. So to do that, you're just gonna want to make a little hole, and then pour a tiny bit of water in there. And this is gonna be a very long process too. So keep that in mind. And very messy!
Alright then, fine then.
11 minutes later.
So once you have your dough looking like a monstrosity as usual, you're going to want to put it in saran wrap and then let it freeze in the fridge for 30 minutes at least.
Now we're going to make the butter that's going to go inside the dough. You need to lay a piece of parchment paper on a surface. You need 2 cups of cold butter, or 2 tasses foie beurre. And this might seem weird, but now we're going to cut or pare the butter into long slices. It's going to be very difficult because butter is slippery. And you're just going to lay the pieces in kind of a square pattern on the parchment paper. After you have cut your butter and placed it on your parchment paper, you want to take another piece of parchment paper onto your butter, and you want to, as best as you can because it's cold, you want to roll it out until it's one big square. Or I could just turn it.
However you prefer.
Now that you have rolled out your butter into a beautiful butter rectangle, you want to put your little butter slab into the fridge to chill, just to keep it cold. You want to make sure your butter stays cold.
Now, when your dough is done chilling, you're going to want to flour your surface lightly, probably a little less than that really. And then you're going to want to roll out your dough to 1/4 or 1/4 between 1/8 of an inch. Thank you, Afton.
I got you, bro.
And when you roll it out, you're going to want to make it into a square. Or rectangle. This is why we have geometry.
Remember all those times you said you wouldn't need those lessons? Guess what, kids?
Well, it looks like an oval, but you get the idea.
So when your dough is rolled out into a rectangle oval kind of shape, you want to take your butter out of the fridge. And you want to place your cold block of butter right in the middle of the dough. And now you want to wrap your butter in your dough. And now you want to roll your dough out, trying to make sure to keep the butter cold, and roll it out into a long rectangle.
Most of this dough part is just hard labor and a lot of emotional support.
That hurts my knees from standing up. Why does your kitchen want to hurt me so bad? Because you don't like my chicken, sir. And yet you don't think the demon dog is terrifying? Explain yourself, Afton. I want to say he is my friend, but I will not touch him. Look, demon dog is a small, fluffy creature. Chickens are weird beings that you cut off their heads and they can still move. That's not natural. Yeah, but they're food.
Like I said, the only good chicken is dead.
20 minutes later.
Now once your dough is rolled out into one rectangle, you want to fold it in thirds. And then turn it and roll it out into a long rectangle again. And once your dough is rolled out again, you want to again fold it into thirds. Now you want to take another piece of saran wrap. And place your dough in the wrap. And let it chill in the fridge for another 30 minutes. So once your dough has chilled for another 30 minutes, once again, take it out of its plastic wrap. You want to flour your surface. And once again, for the third time, roll out your dough into a long rectangle. Now once you're done with rolling and folding, put it in plastic wrap again. And put it in the fridge for yet another 30 minutes. After your dough is chilled in the fridge, you once again are going to roll it out and fold it, and roll it out and fold it for the 2 final times. When you're done folding your dough for the final time, once again, you're going to place it in some saran wrap. Thank you. Good. So after you're done folding it, you're going to wrap it in saran wrap and freeze it, but this time for an hour to overnight.
So now we're going to make the filling for the mille-feuille. We're going to need 2/3 cup of powdered sugar, or 2 tiers tasse la sucre glace, pardon moi. So we're going to go ahead and throw that right into the bowl. Next, we're going to need 2/3 cup of the whipping cream, or 2 tiers tasse de la crème espacée, as my translator has so wonderfully told me. Next, you're going to need 2 drops of vanilla extracts, or 2 gouttes extract de vanilla, however you prefer. Eyeballing it, because for some reason we're terrible when it comes to measurements. And we're just gonna mix this up. But before we do that, we're gonna need the lemon juice and the zest from a lemon. So we're gonna cut over to that from Jessie.
While you're whipping your filling, you need to prepare your lemon, or le citron, and you need to zester, and juice, presser your lemon. When you have your lemon juice, don't forget to take out the seeds of it too.
So once you have your ingredients, the cream, the sugar, the vanilla, you're going to mix it in a bowl. So you're going to whip it, or fouettière, the heavy cream and all that, until it gets medium peaks. So let's go and do that. Please on low speed, unless you have a very big bowl.
A few moments later.
Add a little lemon.
So after you got the peaks, you're going to add your lemon zest and your lemon juice into your mixture.
Whoa.
Thank you, lovely assistant.
You're welcome.
Now we're going to add the mascarpone cheese. Now for the mascarpone cheese, you're going to need 2 tiers du mascarpone fromage. So you're going to need 2/3 cup of this cheese.
A few moments later.
After you hack all your mascarpone cheese in there, you're going to have to scoop it out and add it to your mixture. One would think you could just eyeball it, but trust me, you do not want to do that. You're going to have a very cheesy mixture.
A few minutes later.
So now, once you added your mascarpone cheese, you're going to mix, or mélanger, it all together.
That looks way too runny.
Yeah, what happened?
Mix it. There we go.
completely done chilling, lightly flour your surface and unwrap your dough. And you want to roll it out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thin.
11 minutes later.
Not good enough to be a Gordon Ramsay.
No, but you're salty enough to be him.
So when your dough is rolled out, you're going to want to either cut it with a knife or use a pizza cutter and cut them into whatever size you want. We're doing very small, like kind of bite-size servings, so we're going to cut them kind of small.
What have you done?
No, I've messed up. Hold on, okay.
What have you done? You messed it up even more.
Beautiful. So what you want to do, you want to preheat your oven to 420 degrees Fahrenheit. And you want to get a piece of parchment paper and put it on a baking tray, like so. And we're going to take our little pieces of dough and put them on the baking tray.
A few moments later.
Now, to give the dough a little taste, we're going to sprinkle them in powdered sugar.
Thank you.
I think you meant Dankeschön.
I think I meant mercy.
It smells like something's burning.
It's just the smell of the oven.
It's just my burning desire for you.
So now that we have our beautifully powdered sugared pastries, we're going to bake or cure them for about 15 minutes or until they are golden brown. So now for the garnish or garnier of it, you are going to, usually this recipe is done with blueberries, but you can also do it with something like raspberries, which we're doing because Afton does not like blueberries.
Thanks, guys.
And you are just going to mix these fruits with some powdered sugar.
Alright, so when your batch is done, take some of these. First of all, make sure that they cool down. Secondly, you're going to want to fill some bags with the filling.
A few minutes later.
Cut the corner. And then decorate them as how you want them to be.
As how you want them.
And then after that, just put on your fruit. As we all taste this for the first time, I'd like to read off some facts about it. How is it, guys?
Good. Mm-hmm.
Mille-Feuille originated from France in the 1600s, and however, it is also considered an Italian dish. The first recipe was recorded in 1651 by Francois Pierre de la Varenne, in a cookbook. Later, it was referred to as an ancient recipe by Marie Antoinette Curie. During that time, it was poetically named the Gâteau de Mille-Feuille, or the Cake of 1,000 Leaves. There are even some suggestions of Hungarian roots too, because of the layered design, which resembles a Hungarian dessert. Alright, opinions, guys. What do you think?
Really good.
Pretty good.
You guys can see all the layers in there.
Just gonna add on. A few other places call this dish like the Napoleon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's not named after the actual dude that messed up the French number system, Napoleon. It's actually named after the Italian city of Naples. Or Naples.
Naples.
I'm not Italian, I don't know how to say this.
Like